Hello and welcome to the one, the only, No Load Time. My name is Robert Velez, and with me, it's the most interesting man in the world, Joel Young.
What's up, no load time? Obit, always good to be with you, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, good to be here, sir. I am doing phenomenal, man. I am ready to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, about the
Yeah,
Switch 2, and there's a lot to cover.
yeah.
So let's dispense with the pleasantries, sir, and let us know how many predictions we got right before we jump
I
into everything. I still owe
I
you that
know,
pineapple on pizza. I promise. Next time we go out for pizza, I'm gonna order that pineapple. I promise.
I know. No, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, you're again. Your prediction was close. It just there
But
was reasons.
I was off by a year on the release date, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like it was close because like there was plenty of reports that were saying that it was going to happen. They switched up on the Switch. Like the plan
Right.
was, and then they just kind of said no. So it was weird.
Yeah. Which I mean, based on the show, which I think overall was a really good show.
Yeah.
Um, it makes me think again that the reason why they delayed it is because they didn't have the software ready, and clearly that was part of it. But there's more stuff. Like there's a lot of things here and there that you got to read into, and we'll go over it. But sir, last week we make some predictions, and even before that, let's go. How many we got right?
Yeah, just right off the rip, do you want me to tell you what they are, or just tell you how
So
many we
I
got
think
right?
the price we got correct, like spot on, right?
You got the price right. I said 399. You got the
The
price spot on.
449,
So you were like dead on the mark. You got one of them wrong. The Mario Kart one you got wrong.
because I thought that was gonna be a little bit later and not released.
Yep.
Yep.
Metro Prime drop at release of Switch 2.
They didn't say
Um,
there is a
they didn't
A Switch 2
say,
version,
yeah.
but they didn't say. Yeah.
So really we got one right, one maybe, and one wrong out of the
Did I,
ones that I have
did
written
I,
down here.
did I predict the release date? Did I say like late May, June, or something? I don't remember.
I
Maybe
I did
before.
not. I didn't write it down. You might have, and I might have missed it. To
Right,
be
right, right.
honest,
Okay, that's good. That's good. Hey, but that
but I
pricing
mean
though,
that's pretty good.
man, like right round the money, dude. I told you. Like, all right, we can start with like the good, right?
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah,
So, this was a very good show, I think, and overall, I am very confident on the device's capabilities. I don't think that there's necessarily an issue with the hardware. I think the hardware and the choices they made are pretty good. They were showing it to press today. Unfortunately, we didn't get invited, but uh, they're showing it to press, and I heard that it does look a little bit better than a Steam Deck graphics wise, but the Steam Deck, because of the OLED screen,
yeah,
it looks crisper. But
yeah.
like the games running, they run as good or better than a Steam Deck, and it looks really nice. Is more comfortable to hold. The Joy Cons feel good. Like impressions have been very very positive, and I think that all things considered, right? I think the bundle's the way to go. Straight up, going for the Mario Kart bundle for 500, and then you get a Pro controller or something. Pro controller, by the way, $80 for the new Pro controller, $90 for the Joy Cons if you want to replace those or get new ones.
New prices.
Yep. The dock, I think it's 110. But yeah, I mean, let's start with the console pricing and features. So the dock is the thing that I think makes it better than what it's supposed to be. The dock has to be doing some magic in it, like it having a fan and all that. There has to be some sort of processing being done at that level, um, and that would allow the console to do the 4K 120, say for example with Metroid, which is I'm sorry, the 4K 60 or the 1080p 120 FPS on Metroid. So the dock has to be doing some magic. The dock has definitely been quite the upgrade compared to the current dock on the Switch. Everything pack in, everything's good. There's nothing too crazy going on. They showed the features, and they showed the mouse controls. How do you feel about those, man? Because I think that just using, like, having to move around surfaces is not optimal versus just pointing with the Joy-Con, which I think you can still do, but now they've added this other, I guess, axis for you to work on. But what do you think of the mouse controls?
I'm gonna be honest with you, I think it's awesome. Like I know I was like, you know what? Like this is the thing about Nintendo. They're unconventional, man. Like they're like, yes, we're used to just using the traditional way, but there's something about this that's like how this could potentially impact gameplay and how they can do unique things depending on the exclusive games that they're gonna build for this thing. It gets my attention. It doesn't mean that it's going to be an amazing feature, but it's got a high possibility of something interesting. And for that reason, I'm totally cool with it. Be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like some games will definitely take advantage of that. And I mean, for me, it's give or take. I mean, it doesn't necessarily do anything too special for me,
Correct.
but it's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
cool option. It's a cool feature. Like if you, especially
Right.
for, if they're planning to bring games like Marvel Rivals, right? That could benefit from mouse controls.
Yeah.
Aiming with the mouse, and you can use it on Metroid with as aim controls. So that's all cool. The screen size is good. Was 7.9 inches. The Joy Cons, the device is a little bit bigger, but uh, same girth, I guess, compared to the other to the old Switch. We should call it the old Switch now, I guess, just to distinguish it,
Yeah.
or the OG Switch. Uh, and
Switch one.
Switch One, yeah. The addition of the other USB port on the top is great. Um, the Pro Controller having a headphone jack is great. The party chat or the game chat doesn't do anything for me. Like PlayStation's had that for a long time. Xbox had it since the Xbox One, right? That's been a thing for a long time. So that's something that they just put on their device. That doesn't do anything for me. That could do, you know, if you're primarily a Switch user. Say for example, if you are like PC and Switch, right? Say for example, yeah, that's a great feature to have. That's something new. Because even on PlayStation, like I don't use Party Chat. It's like you're probably the only person that I play online with, and we don't, and we do it and we do it on stream, so
Rare.
it doesn't matter, right? So
Yes.
we're gonna
Rare.
do it over
Rare.
Discord anyway. So like for me, it doesn't really it doesn't move my needle. That's a cool feature. It doesn't do anything for me, right? It's kind of like the mouse controls. It's like it's great, but sure. Um, Internal storage moved up to 256. That's a big deal, but problem would be what happens when more like Cyberpunk, which got announced. The game takes like 60 gigs, so you can install like 5 games anyway, so it would matter. Those SD Express cards are still very expensive, so those would have to come down in price. I think overall, man, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a great device. Is it a day one buy for me? No. it's I'm gonna wait it out.
Hmm.
And there's a few reasons why, right? Not gonna go too much into it. We were just talking about it before we went on air.
Right.
There's reason like I and then we're gonna go into the games here in a second, but yeah, $449 for the base, and then if you want Mario Kart as a pack in, is $499. Starting with Mario Kart, right? I think it looked great.
Right.
It's Forza Mario Kart, so you can drive everywhere and go anywhere. Big map, open road. It's Forza Mario. It's Burnout. It's Burnout Paradise, Mario Kart almost. So I think that a lot of the changes that they did, a lot of the additions, a lot of the new stuff that that game has, are awesome. They're really, really elevating the game, right? Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, absolutely excellent game, man. Game that people to this day play. That like we've been playing technically Mario Kart 8 since what? When it came out on the Wii U, was it 2014, 2013? It's been 10 years that people have been playing Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
So like having this,
Such a good game.
it's such a good game, right?
Such a good game.
And I don't complain about it, right? And we're gonna go into some of the controversy here. So, when the prices got announced, and correct me if I'm wrong, because there's still like even now conflicting reports on this. The digital version of the game is $70. The physical version of the game is $80. Is that correct, or am I adding 10 to that? Is it 80 and 90?
I heard that the digital was 80. I did not hear what the physical was going to be.
Okay, so the physical, because the physical is
be
like
90.
Let's go ahead.
I had heard digital was 80, so that's interesting.
Let's see. Let's see what the new
information.
Yeah, let's see if there's any new information. Yeah, let's see.
I'm fact checking too. Okay, according to Tweaktown, switch to digital 80, physical 90.
Yeah, there you go. There you go, sir. So
According to them.
I saw that Donkey Kong was 70 for the digital, and I think the physical as well, if I'm not wrong. And then
it seems like it's going to be a moving price. Another report is saying that re-releases will either be $70 or $80.
Yes, because Breath of the Wild was set at I think 60, and then Tears of the Kingdom was 80 for the Switch 2 versions. So,
but then
yeah.
And then they're saying that like Mario Kart World listed for 80, but it's going to be technically $50 being bundled in with the Switch too.
Yep. So that's the way to go. Like if you get a Switch 2, that's the way to go. Like get it with Mario Kart and play your old games on it.
Right.
My understanding is that, again, if you own those games, the upgrades are like anywhere from $10 to $20 to upgrade to the Switch 2 version. But if you have Switch Online with the expansion pack, that's included. So if you already play for the online extra, those are...
I'm sorry, it's the comment section. I'm sorry. Our live chat.
What's up?
Oh gosh, I'm not gonna read it on stream, but
it's insane, man.
Oh man. Yeah, for $90. Yeah. I understand your point.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, and you need to add this question, man. You're the producer. So, I mean, sure. Like Moo's there. You can play as Moo now. But the 24,
new feature on the Joy-Con. Stop the show.
Oh man, what was that movie with the? Oh man, those movie were so. Oh,
Oh man.
oh I got man with the with the sounds and
Turning
the
red.
motions. But yeah, yeah. I mean, you have two Joy Cons. You can probably figure it out, right? So
Or if you're watching live, you see our YouTube comment section. Good reason to subscribe to the show, guys.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I GTA is gonna be 120, bro. Like, so that's the thing, right? I think Nintendo's is testing how far it's like how far can we get with this crap, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They may pull a 3DS and say, "Oh wait, no, let's go ahead and take a step back," right? Because 3DS, we all know, like when that released, it was not great, and they slashed the price like a big chunk. As I think it was like 250, and they lowered it to like 180, I think. So,
Right.
I mean, this could be the case. I don't think the price of the console is going to go down, but I think there may be some adjustments that they can make to the pricing on the games, because it's like I can't keep up. This is like Ubisoft levels of like, hey, you need
Okay.
this version to get
Yeah.
this thing, but if you buy this version, and then you have to pay for this thing, or if not, or if you buy the collector's edition, you get this but not that, and that, it's becoming like that. And I think they should streamline it. They should streamline it. And I think Mario Kart, I think it's going to be a great game. Is it going to be worth it? I don't know. I know that a lot of people really love Mario Kart and are really into
Mhm.
Mario Kart. The price on the bundle's worth it, $50 if you get it. Sure, that's great. But
Yeah.
as a standalone, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it. We'll have to wait and see. Right, I have to wait for those
Right.
reviews. A lot of rightfully so, especially, and I don't want to put like, I don't want to be the old man out here. It's like, you younger generations, and then it's like, I don't want to be that gamer. But
Yeah.
I do understand that you younger gamers have lived with Steam sales and games being $60 and all that. But bro, like again, back in the dude, my friend bought Strider for the Sega Genesis in 1991 for $80. That game is 15 minutes long, dude. Like, it's a great game. It's 15 minutes. What else are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You're gonna beat it twice. What else are you gonna do with it? And that's what. Yeah, I mean, you have to take into consideration back then the cost of manufacturing was really expensive and all that. Which I was like, oh well, cost of manufacturing now doesn't matter because you have digital distribution. It's like, yeah, but games back then cost $200,000 to make.
Yeah.
And again, the best example I can give you is Street Fighter 2. Street Fighter 2 cost around $2.5 million back in 1991 to make. Street Fighter 6 cost over $200 million. So, like, what are we doing, dude? GTA cost $2 billion, Joel.
Oh yeah.
And
I mean, it's a historical amount of money,
Yeah.
but like they know they're gonna get it back between distribution for just current gen. And let's be completely real, whenever PlayStation 6 drops, like they're gonna re-release it on that. They're gonna re-release
yeah.
it on whatever Xbox does. Like this is gonna live long for a very long time. They probably are anticipating
Look-
at least 5 to 10 being made from this
yeah.
thing.
This would be the right time for, like, straight up, like, no, don't waste time. This would be the right time for Xbox to go. It's like, you don't have to pay $90 to play the latest Xbox games. You can pay $15 a month and have
Yeah.
everything, and put
Game
Game
Pass.
Pass out there. But it's Nintendo. They're gonna do they
Yeah.
this thing's gonna still sell like crazy, but they gotta figure out their messaging. Their messaging is really iffy. It's been not great. and it's been confusing. Like it's been confusing me, which I can follow pricing pretty good on stuff, and it's like, wait, was it this and that, or how much is that? And I think they were really smart of not uh putting any pricing out during the presentation, and they put it like 5 minutes later. It's crazy, but I think that was a good move. Keep people focused on the fun stuff. We'll talk money later, right? That kind of thing. But
Right.
um, I don't find like I predicted the price on the console, and I was right on the money. So I don't think that really bothers me that much. Um, but Nintendo's not gonna tell you how much money it costs them to make, Mario Kart World. So you can compare it to the NES, the Super NES Mario Kart, and have that, uh, you know, point of reference. And it's like, oh well, yeah. I mean, it costs like hundreds of millions of dollars versus you know,
Yeah.
$45,000 back in the day with like six people. That's another thing, right? It's like, dude, it's like you play as a Super Nintendo game. It's like 20 people made the game. They probably have like at least 300 people that worked on Mario Kart World.
Eh,
And then then like people don't think about that. It's like, oh well, the word you starting. I was like, well, it's more work and it takes more people to make these things. Like it
Yeah.
makes sense, right? At
Yeah.
some point we need to realize it, and that's the unfortunate truth of it.
Well, just take 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Go on YouTube, go on Google, and look up what the intricacies it takes for game design, and then you'll realize why it takes an army of people to create this stuff, and why they got to have prices to be able to feed these people's families because they have to make a career out of this stuff.
Right.
And doesn't mean that as the consumer we should be happy with the prices. We just have to understand it. There's not everything in life you have to be happy with, but you need to have a pulse on and have an understanding as a consumer. And thankfully, we have the resources to be able to research and have an understanding of how the industry is set up. It's weird when you have situations like this where you're saying, okay, this one game might be $70 and then the next one might be 90. People are like, what? They're both new and they're both, exclusive to the same console. Why is it such a discrepancy? And like you're saying, there needs to be a little clearer messaging around the why, I think, between that so people
Yeah.
have a better understanding. But regardless, like you understand that now, unfortunately, even if you go out and you buy just out the box digital whatever a game, you're still going to spend most likely extra money on the game for your DLC and whatever else might be needed, because most things nowadays are just going to be in that digital presence where most people are playing online. That's why clearly with the Switch 2, they're making the jump more into the online space, right? Because like they're having your audio chat and we'll get into the other features about the game sharing and stuff like that. Like they understand that like the future is not just analog. It's fully digital and you're connected and friends are playing online and Discord's growing like crazy and that's just the way it goes. Remember, this is not an American-based thing. Switch is a worldwide thing. Nintendo's a worldwide thing. So, like, they have to hit off on consumers everywhere. A lot of the functionality that you're looking at that they announced with this is stuff that maybe like people like you and I might be like, we're not gonna really use some of these features like talking like in-game chat or stuff like that. But like the online presence and probably some other parts of the world, like in like European and maybe like Asian continents and stuff like that. Like there's probably a large appreciation for some of these different features and functionality that maybe we're not thinking about. And when it comes to just like what these games entail, and you're looking at what's the online keep up, let's just say with, for example, Mario Kart World, like they gotta have people maintaining those servers, man. They gotta have people constantly
Yeah.
building content. Like that game doesn't just release and then they walk away like
Right.
it's over. Like that
There's
job's
an
gonna live.
upkeep.
There's gonna be people working on that for a long time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that like there's bigger pieces to how this thing moves that I think people realize at the surface of it.
Right. Server space. Capacity, data center, and like
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes in. It's like the reason why like World of Warcraft charges a monthly fee and Final Fantasy 14 and all that. So like it's the reason why they charge a monthly fee, right? It's like it's why
Right.
you pay for PS Plus, right? So and you know, people say, I was like, oh well, on PC you don't have to pay for online. Yeah, but you know, the company, that's still an upkeep that that the publisher is putting out, and they're offsetting those costs with, you know, the Xbox people and the PlayStation guys. It's like that, man. And I think like Switch Online, like it's not great. Like it looks like they're working towards making it a lot better with the Switch 2. Um, and that's the reason why. I mean, I pay for the family plan. I think it's like 35 a year. Because we have the two, and you know, I have the Switch, and my daughter has a Switch.
It's a great deal.
So, you know, that's not bad. But then when you go to the expansion pack, it goes up to 80 a year. It's like, well, I mean, all things considered, PSN is like 80 now, right? Um, and so it's not bad. You're still getting a good value out of it. You got, you know, Genesis games. You're gonna get GameCube games now on Switch 2.
Right. Yep.
So you know, that's a huge add-on. Like people have been asking for that. Like, yeah, well, you gotta upgrade to get the GameCube games now. So, you know, that there is an incentive for you to upgrade both the console and the service. So it's not
Right.
like you're not getting anything back, right? But I totally understand where, you know, where a lot of people are coming from, right? And uh, like what you said, right? It does take a little bit of education to, it's like, oh, well, why is this so expensive? Dude, I've been saying it since it got announced. GTA is gonna be $100 for the base game. And like, and now it wouldn't surprise me if it's more, because Nintendo just gave them a license. I think so. Nintendo, okay, what Nintendo did with this pricing methods that they're trying to apply, they're telling the industry, listen, don't be afraid to charge what you need to charge for your product.
Mm.
And again, it's an unfortunate reality. You don't have to buy it on release. You can wait 6, 8 months, a year, and buy it on a sale. You don't have to pay the $80, $90 now. You can wait it out. Again, only problem is that Nintendo doesn't put their games on sale very often. And if they do, it's only, you know, a few bucks off. It's not, you're not going to get you're not going to get one of those Capcom sales where you can get Devil May Cry 5 special edition for like $7. You're not going to get that. But
Yeah.
it's you know, they're the industry leader right now. They're confident enough where they can let people know. It's like, listen, don't be afraid. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a new Call of Duty this year that it's going to be $80, $90, right? It wouldn't surprise me if, I don't know, whatever PlayStation's working on, that's a lot of money. I don't know, Spider-Man 3, if it would be $80. And, you know, and not every game's going to be 80, right? It's like, because you're not going to charge $80 for the you know, the Marvel beat 'em up that's coming out. That's probably gonna be like 30, right? So here, watch me, dude. It's like I just paid $50 for the Marvel's Capcom collection, and it's fine, right? But
Well, like another thing I think people have to realize too is like they're trying to also quell it a little bit, like from the pricing of just saying also backwards compatibility is still going to be a thing. So
right,
people can't say like I spent this money and now I've got my new Switch and I gotta go rebuy this game. Like, you know, yeah, your $40, you know, Yoshi game that you got, you still get to play that on your Switch too. But if you want to play
yeah,
true next gen and you want to play these new things, you're gonna have to pucker up for it. Little Jimmy, you know, unfortunately back in the day, little Jimmy, when he would get, you know, his new console, he'd walk out the store and probably have 3 games with him on his way
dude.
out and an extra
With,
controller.
with how long
Now,
with how long we've had Nolo time, little Billy is like 20 years old already.
little Billy's
He ain't that little
little Billy
anymore.
passing it on to his nephew, little Jimmy. That's right. Now it's little Jimmy. Of how long we've been running. So
Little Bill,
so
yeah,
now
little Bill's gonna have to watch a lot of cars this summer to be
Lil is
able.
gonna have to
Yeah,
watch a lot of cars. But like he's only gonna get when he leaves, he's only gonna get one game and probably a pro controller on his way out of his local GameStop or Walmart or
yeah,
Best Buy. Because like the price point, you're gonna walk out and you're gonna spend like close to $600 just getting those specific items. You know, most of the time people will want to get like, you know, another you'll want to get like walk away out with two games, three games, but unless you get that bundle with where you cut down a little bit of the price with like your Mario Kart, I
yeah.
don't think many people are gonna get a lot at launch. I think they're gonna struggle, not struggle, but I think it's gonna be a slower launch. Not a bad launch, but a
Right.
slow launch.
Yeah.
A lot of people, the sentiment's not gonna be I need to have this day one. At least
It's not
that's what
my
I believe.
sentiment. Yeah, that's how I feel.
You know?
Like I don't like to me what. Even though I think again, Mario Kart looks really good, man. Looks really
Yeah.
good. I'll wait for the Mario. I want to see what that is, and that would be the one. Like I waited. I bought the Switch in 2019. It was like 2.5 years after it had come out,
Yeah. Yeah.
and waiting at least a year. I think that's prudent. I don't think if you're struggling, you don't need to get this day one, right?
Yeah.
If you're not in a hurry, you don't need to get this day one. If you have a Switch OLED, you don't need to get this day one. You can wait it out. Wait the year. Wait until more games come out. Wait until Nintendo figures out the pricing stuff, right?
Yeah.
Wait until Xbox releases whatever their handheld is gonna be. Maybe who knows, right? There may be options if you don't want to go this route, right? And again, outcry has been loud enough where Nintendo could potentially change this, right? It happened before, and then we did it with Sonic. so so we got rid of ugly Sonic. So it could happen. Donkey Kong looks really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
looks fun. That
Yeah.
looks super fun.
Love that.
Yeah, it looks like they're coming in with like almost a Minecraft like you know mechanic for like destructibility in the levels, and it looked really good, man. So, and I'm not a huge DK fan, but this looked like a lot of fun. And I guess a good progression from the last 3D Donkey Kong we got was 64, right? Because the other ones have been 2D, like Tropical Freeze and the one that came after that or before, I can remember. Like those been yeah, Donkey Kong Country Returns first for the Wii, and then Tropical Freeze to come out on the Wii U, Switch, and then Returns came out again on the Switch. That they keep re-releasing stuff. So
Right.
yeah, that was cool. I think that was cool. I was expecting Mario, right? I thought it was gonna be Mario, but I'll take the Donkey Kong. It looked really good. Am I again? Is it a game that's gonna make me buy a day one? No, I'm probably gonna be buying Death Stranding too. If I'm being honest with you, so there, I want it, but I need more. I mean, you're not gonna sell me this system with the Mario Kart and Donkey Kong, right? But then like I really don't care that much about Metroid. I know the Metro Prime games are really good, but I really don't care much about them. The rest is coming out on the Switch. I put hundreds of hours on Breath of the Wild, about 200 hours on Tears of the Kingdom. I'm good with those, right? I could revisit them, but I have like no immediate plan to go back to them. And I'm not gonna go back to Elden. I'm not gonna start an Elden Ring run on the Switch too, right? I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna play Final Fantasy remake again, Final Fantasy VII remake on the Switch too. I already have it on PS4, and I have the PS5 version upgrade was free. Also, dude, that tech demo thing that they showed, like they're charging for that. That's egregious, bro. When PS5 comes in with Astrobot, that's freaking awesome.
Correct.
And it's free. And they're
Right.
charging for that tech demo. It's like to get information on features on the Switch, they're actually charging money for that. That one
That's
to me is the
ridiculous.
one that's offensive.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If you ask me, man. That's the one that I was like, nah, bro, this is like it's not great. It's not a good look, not a good look. Because Astrobot is great. And he shows you the features of the PS5. But, it's super intuitive, it's fun, it has good level design. And this thing is like, yeah, you go and read the sign, and the sign tells you about this. No, man, that one feels like a slap in the face almost. That's the one that's like, nah, bro,
No-brainer.
you guys tripping over here, man. I don't know what's going
I
on.
didn't realize they were charging for it. I honestly did not realize that at first.
They
And
didn't
then I
say
ended
how
up seeing
much.
it later on, and people were saying like, "Wait a second, this thing." I was like, "Wait, what? Like that doesn't make any sense." And I'm glad you brought the Astrobot thing because like that's like a rite of passage. Like you get your PS5, and like one of the first things you do is fire up Astrobot because like you need to like start realizing the totality of what the DualSense offers and just obviously just core functionality around for the PS5. I think well, obviously I've not played whatever this one is that this tech demo,
It's
but
cheap.
but whatever it is, it's gonna
900
be cool.
It's 990 yen, which they're probably gonna put it at 999 over here. But
Strange.
I'm not. Why?
Why?
Dude,
Yeah.
an Astrobot looks so good, and it's an actual
you're gonna buy
fun
it.
game that you can play.
You gonna buy yourself a Papa John's pizza, or you gonna go get yourself this tech demo? I think Obed's gonna get the pizza.
I'm gonna go with the pizza, man. The pizza or tech demo, I'm going with pizza every time. You don't need to ask me twice. Even if it's, I can buy a Little Caesars and a Pepsi for $10, and I'll be happy.
There you go. You're a
It's like,
happy man.
I would rather spend it on Little Caesars and a 20-ounce Pepsi than
This episode
than
no
get this
time
thing.
brought to you by
Little
Look at people, Little
Caesars.
Caesars. Call us.
Hey, we're open. You guys rock.
They really are good.
So, man, so strange. But I mean, first party wise, that's basically it. They announced a new Kirby Air Ride, called Kirby Air Riders, and Sakurai is directing it. So they let him take some rest after Smash Bros. And it's like, I don't want to do another Smash Bros. Just yet. I want to do something fun. So he's gonna go and do Air Riders. Did you ever play that on GameCube? I never played it. I heard good things about it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, though, that was basically first party stuff, and then so Elden Ring, Final Fantasy VII remake, not Rebirth, remake. It's coming out. Street Fighter 6 is coming out. So I think third party wise, it does have a lot of good support. There's a lot of good stuff coming out. I think the release, they haven't said exactly what's coming out on release other than Mario Kart, and I think Civilization 7. But I think it's gonna have a solid launch, but not as good as the original Switch with like Breath of the Wild and some of the other stuff that came out. Yeah, man. It's a good device. I think the device is really, really good. I don't think the price is too out of control. I would have rather it had been $399, but beggars can't be choosers. And the thing with the again with the pricing is that you have to take into consideration that right now the Switch OLED is $350, $349. So it's $100 more than the Switch OLED. They didn't say what they're gonna do with the old Switch. We don't know. We'll find out later, I guess. Um, I mean, overall, like I said, I think the show was great, but the pricing stuff was just strange.
Yeah.
I mean, the price for the console is fine. I don't. I mean, all things considered, and considering the like I don't know, the ROG Ally is like 420 right now. How much? Let's go to Best Buy real quick and let's see how these things are doing. Come on, there you go. ROG Ally at Best Buy right now is, come on, load up. Dang, dude. The
Yeah.
new ROG Ally with 512 gigs is 649.
Yeah, and I was even looking at just like the Steam Deck, for example, and like the 512 gig OLED. You're looking at $550.
Yeah.
For the LCD version, 256 gigs, $400. So
I would
they're
rather
meeting
get
you in the
I would
middle.
rather oh yeah, I would rather get this than a Steam Deck. Now again,
Yeah.
thing is, what are you gonna do with those games, bro? Steam Deck, you get games for cheap. And
Right.
yeah, I have, my little Switch library back here, and I got some other games that I gotten digitally, but like, what are we gonna do? Like is everything new gonna be $90? It's they're clearly giving you an incentive to buy the game digitally, but which is great, which is what something that you and I even talked about is like,
Yeah.
why not, if the game day and date, give us a little discount if we're buying digital. Like the good thing is that now, like at least with PlayStation, right, their sales on the PlayStation Network they're really aggressive. Like they compared with a lot of the stuff that Steam does, and some of the pricing is really really good. Like again, if you're willing to wait, you can get some phenomenal games for cheap on PlayStation, and they have
Right. Right.
sales all the time. So, is it going to be the same with them? Like, what are we going to? I think they just need to set the expectation. It's like what the expectation is. Um, Overall, like I said, good device. We may need some more clarification on some of the stuff. Um, I would like it. I don't need it immediately. So it's not like the PS5 where, you know, yeah, I already have a nicer TV that can play the PS5 and it's gonna look great and it's gonna, when they came out, they give you like those 20 games for free. Remember when they get the what was it? They give
Hmm.
you
Yeah. The
PS5
collection, the
gave
PS4
you
collection.
like a really good incentive to get the console.
Yeah.
And then free upgrades on most
Yep.
games. Like they were
Yep.
really aggressive, and um, I mean, I guess they had to do it because of the timing on when the console came out. But the same could be said about about the Switch too, right?
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
timing
Totally.
merits the timing merits uh, a little bit more uh, consideration to the consumers. And I know Nintendo's listening, and none of these things. None of this pricing is final. Like they did it with the 3DS. Iwata's not around, but uh, we could expect someone to live up to the expectations. So
Right.
I'm hoping. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go for it, if you can wait it out, wait it out. I'll wait it out. I'll give it probably another year, and then I'll probably get it. I'm comfortable giving it a year, and see how it goes.
Yeah. I don't know when. I don't know when I'm gonna get it. I know I'm not getting it at launch. And PS5, you saw me. And we were live on the stream.
Yeah,
I got it on the
yeah.
show. But Yeah, I think for me, I thought the price point, not of the console, but of the games, is a huge factor. But for me, it's even just the actual lineup itself, like at launch. Like I don't think Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza is enough to make me say I need to have this within the first 2 months or even the first 5 months.
Yeah, that's why
I
I said
don't.
a year. Yeah,
I know there's more. I know there's gonna be more things that are gonna get dropped between the time of it, and surprises and things are gonna come about. I know that, but it's just not strong enough of a launch shot. I think the
right.
console itself has sold me. They've sold me on what the hardware is. That's fine. They sold me on the functionality and the next gen stuff. Great. I just want cool content now, and they're not gonna have the problem that Xbox has had. Like we know they're cooking stuff. The thing is, it's just we have to wait.
It's not
So
there
if
yet.
we're waiting for the content, why would I buy it right away? I think most people are going to be in the same boat for multiple reasons, and that being the content being one of them. I think just just like how much people just love Array their original Switches. They love them so much they're not going to rush. There's going to be a lot of
Yeah,
people who I think even just for um the sake of just financials, like they're not going to rush. Maybe they would have before. I I think even if they had a better launch lineup, I still think that they were going to be having a slower launch compared to maybe what they had with the last Switch. You're building on the momentum of it, which is great, and they didn't do anything to me to like stab themselves in the back. Like there's nothing they did that hurt themselves, in my opinion, at least with the announcement.
right.
It definitely made me excited for it, but it didn't make me have to go run out and go open up the wallet. I hope and truly hope that when they get to the point of launching, like this is like a whole set of like things we're even working on, that like it's enough to say I am confident next year I'm gonna get it. Because Obed, even in that point, like I'm basically saying I'm not giving a timeline. If I can get it sooner and there's something to do sooner, great.
Right.
But if it's gonna be a lot
If you win,
later,
if you
and
win an award, Joe, that that would allow you to acquire one of these devices, you would take
you
advantage
already
of it.
know,
Yeah, you would
you
take advantage.
already
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Yeah,
mutually campaigning for.
yeah, yeah. We're mutually campaigning. If you know, you know. We're but like like in a genuine sense, I believe that like there's no exact timeline for my purchase. I'm just waiting for them to do something that makes me go,
Yeah,
I would like I'll take my Switch 2 now. But that's not a bad thing.
right.
The card they have the cards. They're playing the game the right way. I'm happy with what they put out there from the launch. I just need them to now sell me on the full thing. I'll get there. I'll have a Switch too.
Yeah,
When? We'll see.
yeah. I would say like if you skip the Switch, right, and you're planning to get one of these, get the bundle,
Oh yeah,
get a Pro controller,
yeah.
and get the upgraded Breath of the Wild. That's what you need. That's what you need to go.
Sure.
Because Breath of the Wild is a game, sir, that I would have paid $100 for, and I would not complain about it.
Yeah, it's
That's
good content.
and it's yeah, yeah. Again, like I have, and I paid. I think my Final Fantasy, um, 7 Rebirth was 100, if I'm not wrong, because I got the deluxe version. I think that was 100. Yeah. So I mean, I'm used to paying more for games that I want, right? Like if there's a deluxe version for a game that's out there that's $110, I'll, and that's what I want, I'll get it. You can see them back there. I got the deluxe for both, remake and rebirth. They were both $100, and I have the deluxe for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Horizon, and if there's a deluxe version that I want, and it's yeah, sure, I'll pay the $100. Yeah, they give you some goodies that I'm never gonna use, because they give you like a pin or an art book or something. Yeah, that's in the box. It's there. It's a collectible, but I'm getting something in return. But Breath of the Wild is one of those games that I would truly like. Yo, this is so good. I want to give you more money, like and it is one of those games. So And that's why I feel that way about Mario Kart, because I don't know. I know it looks good, and based on Mario Kart
Yeah.
8, it's gonna be phenomenal, right? But I
Right.
don't know. So yeah, we'll wait and see. I think by Game Awards we'll find out a lot more stuff, and then more likely next year at Icon we'll see more. So yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
All
We'll see.
right. A little bit of housekeeping here, real quick, sir. Spider-Man 4 was kind of announced. Tell us what is up with that.
Yeah. So right now, CinemaCon is going on, or it's been going on now for a little bit here. CinemaCon's going on in Las Vegas, and that's a huge industry event where essentially it's only for theater owners and for theatrical media. And they use this event to launch by each different studio like titles or promote upcoming films, hopefully to get like theater owners to open up more rooms in their buildings and stuff to actually have more showings, etc. So we're used to having a lot of announcements. And Destin Cranston came out during the Sony panel and said, "Hey, everybody, like I'm here for Spider-Man 4. We know that he's directing it. He directed Shang-Chi." And when he came on stage, he brought out the title for Spider-Man 4. And the title for it is Brand New Day. Not a title that I think reveals much or anything that makes you really make any major assumptions about the storyline. The one kicker, Obed, is that there is some reports, and I'm trying to find out the validity of where exactly it's coming from. But I did see some places talking about supposedly they had insight that this film is taking place storyline simultaneous with Doomsday. Kind of like how Ant-Man and the Wasp was simultaneous with Infinity War. That Spider-Man 4 will be simultaneous with Doomsday, and that could be a big reason why he wasn't put with the original cast when they made the announcement of everybody on the chairs for Doomsday. So that's all hearsay. I don't know that to be an exact fact. Um, there's a lot of rumors that the Chameleon is one of the main villains in the story, but all we know as a fact is Destin Cranston, director of Shang-Chi, is directing this movie, and that it is called Brand New Day. Falls in line with a similar style, right? You had your Spider-Man Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home. Brand New Day is just it's like it doesn't feel like a relaunch by any means, but it just feels like we get the idea after what happened in No Way Home. This is a completely new chapter. Like this is now a world where no one knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man all over again.
Right. Cool. And that's next year, right? They said.
Yeah, it comes out next year. So which is good because you have Doomsday and that one coming out similar timing.
Yep. Cool. They did announce too that the third Spider-Verse coming out in 2027, right? I think May 2027, if
Yeah.
I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. 2027, yeah, which is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
That is 9 years after the first one came out.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that got delayed about a year, right? Based on some info that got out there.
It was supposed to come out this year originally.
Oh wow!
Originally,
Really?
yeah, originally
I didn't know that.
yeah, originally supposed to be this year, yeah. So which then like Haley Steinfeld was like, "Yeah, I haven't recorded any audio for this thing." And we were like, "Yeah, this ain't happening,"
Wow.
because the artist it took them like 3 years to do the second one.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt it would take them another 3 years to do this one.
Gotcha. All right. And last bit of news here. Science of Life as Star Wars question mark. By the way, Andor comes out tomorrow, right?
No, it comes out April 22nd, I want to say.
You sure about that? I thought it was earlier.
Yeah, April 22nd, 2025.
Oh, okay. Still gotta
Yeah.
catch up.
That's
to...
gonna be kind of it's gonna be simultaneous with with Born Again. So like you'll have your Marvel and then you'll have your Star Wars thing come out.
Okay.
And then this one will tie into this next we're about to talk about this new animated
Gotcha.
series.
Yep. So on May 4th, Star Wars Animation's back. So Tales from the Underworld is a collection of shorts focusing on Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane, and that trailer was pretty good. I think I like this Tales. The Tales of the Sith one was kind of underwhelming. But the first one was really
Yeah.
good. The Tales of the Jedi. This one looks really good. So I'm hoping that they can get some momentum behind it, and we can get a good little animated Star Wars here. But what do you think, sir?
Yeah, trailer was really solid. The two following Cad Bane and following Asajj Ventress are two characters that are I think is brilliant, and characters that obviously very strong in the Filoniverse. So I'd love to see more of them, and obviously has a good tie into also Bad Batch, considering how we saw Ventress lives, in that series. I think this is going to be a nice little fun tie into that from a timeline standpoint. Yeah, I mean, like we talked about Tales of the Empire for a bit in the past. I didn't like it. I thought it was quite lackluster. There's things of it that I did like,
Tales of
but
the Empire.
there's a lot of it that I didn't. And I was disappointed. I was pretty. It was sad because Tales of the Jedi I thought was chef's kiss. You went from like here to just nosedive, in my opinion. Like not the worst thing, but
It's
like
just that
it was not.
nothing important happened really.
Yeah, and not do anything exciting, no hype. And then this one looks good. It doesn't need to be as good as Tales of the Jedi, but it just needs to be good again. I'll be happy. So based on what they see with the trailer, I'm happy. I'm always happy to get more of that Filoni animated style content. That's some of the favorite stuff there. I just hope. I don't know, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what the reasoning why Tales of the Empire just did not go the way maybe it could have been. But my thought at one point was like maybe they just rushed it. Like Tales of the Jedi was just so good that they were like, we just need another one to come out. Just make another thing and just get it out. Like quantity over quality. I don't. That's an assumption. I don't know that to be a fact.
Right.
Maybe they had the stories and the stories just sucked and it didn't matter how long they had. But like I hope that's not the case here. I hope that with this year they really do lock in on some really good stuff because Ventress particularly, like that's the one that I'm looking for the most.
Yeah, because on Bad Batch, like we all thought she was dead. Yeah, and just showed
and
up.
I think there's a good chance that she even shows up in live action at some point. Like I think, like
Yeah.
we got Ahsoka live action, right? Like she's got her own show and she's been in The Mandalorian and different things. And I think Ventress is a character that you could have that happen at some point, but you gotta make the people love her, and I'm hopeful that they'll do something special here.
Yeah, there's no date yet for Visions season 3, right? As far as I know.
Yeah, it's a good cut. It probably will end up being like August or something, like last year.
Okay.
I guess probably it's usually like in the summer.
Okay, all right, cool. Yeah, that's what we got. There's some stuff there that happened too, but we'll cover it.
Well,
next
do you
week.
want to talk? Did you watch Born Again this week?
Not this week. No, I catched up to the previous episode, but I didn't watch the one from this week. Not yet.
Yes.
I watched the
next
first.
week we'll catch.
Yeah, I watched the first episode of Devil May Cry though. That was pretty good on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah, that
Nice,
was pretty
nice.
good.
Nice.
But I watched because I watched the one after the bank robber, the bank heist thing.
Right.
So I watched the one after that, but I didn't watch the one that just came out 2 days ago. So
He's back. He is fully back as the Daredevil.
committed.
And he's committed, and I love the parallel between him and Fisk. Fisk coming back to being the Kingpin, like he can't run away from that, and Matthew returning to be the Daredevil,
which
again.
was
It's great.
foreshadowed in like a couple of episodes ago.
Right.
So yeah,
Well, the episode, the last one from the week before, when they had the 2 episodes, like that's how it ends. It was like,
Yeah.
"You're back," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm back." Like,
Yeah.
like he was like, "I'm like I got to do this." But without getting too much into it, like I was talking to someone else today, someone you and I know, and like he was saying like this is on par with how like Penguin was just good comic book TV content that we've had. Like it's been a while since we've had stuff like this for. I don't think
For
they've missed an
Marvel?
episode.
It's been
yet.
a while.
I don't want to jinx. Yeah, like,
we
I
got
don't
one
wanna jinx
episode
it.
left, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx it because there's just episodes left. So like there's more than one. This thing is. I want to say it's 14 episodes.
No way, dude.
Yes, because Daredevil Born Again episodes. Let me tell you right now. Wow, Daredevil Born Again
9
9
episodes.
in its first 9. So you have 2 more.
Yeah. Okay.
You have 2 more. Yeah, I remember because I remember when they talked about a comic, they said it was gonna be longer than usual. So, dude, that's great. Like, we're having good stuff. And most of the time stuff like this would have been like, oh man, we don't really get the enough, like there's not enough Daredevil in Daredevil, but they're doing it in such a tasteful way
I
of like getting
know.
back to the
Yeah.
heart of the character
Yeah.
that like when they already are filming right now the next season of Daredevil. Like next year, we're getting season 2 of Born Again essentially, or
Yeah.
however they want to call it. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
Maybe call
Like
something
the
else.
fact
Yeah.
that they're saying that they can be consecutive year, right? Like whatever consecutive years of doing it, like it will have a better payoff because it's fresh and it's exciting again. So yeah, I mean I hope they stick the landing here, but my goodness, I can't wait to talk more spoilers
Such a
about
good
the stuff
show.
they're doing here.
Yeah. Yeah. Next week we'll definitely
Which
have the updates. Friday, right? More than likely.
which next week will be Friday. Exactly, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Friday next week. We've got some. Well, yes, because
Got stuff in the way.
So most likely Friday next week. We are scheduling wise. If you know, you know. We've got a lot going on.
Yep.
So Friday we'll be back.
Cool, sir. That is what we got. Let's go ahead and wrap it up.
Alrighty. Everyone, thanks so much for sticking with us for this episode of No Load Time. We want to encourage you to stay tuned, stay subscribed. We're on podcast platforms, audio only version of the show, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. Find us, subscribe to us on your podcast platform of choice. You also could write a review on those platforms. That would really help us out and share the show with others. Additionally, you can subscribe to No Load Time on YouTube. That's No Load Time on YouTube, that channel. Subscribe, like the videos, drop a comment. We'd love to hear from you, and it's a seamless way, again, for you to support the show. Additionally, you can follow us on social media. If you're watching right now, see all the social handles down below. Look for us at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time. Additionally, you can support the show financially outside of those actions if you'd like. And it's a minimum was $1. You can support a month, $1 a month. And that would be on patreon.com/no load time. That's patreon.com/no load time. You be at the producer level with a minimum of literally $1 a month to support our show. And if you do that, you'll become a producer. Shout out to producer Tony on the show. We appreciate you. And last but not least, if you have a question, comment, or feedback, you can send an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. And maybe, just maybe, we'll even talk about it on a future show. We'll look forward to being with you guys next week. Stay tuned. We'll see you then.
Thank you guys. Stay safe. We will see you again next time.